with us today, and this is our first live of 2022. Well, live here. We've been live in lots of different other places, but we haven't actually been live here in 2022. So Happy New Year.
Thank you for joining us.
And Happy New Year to you. We wanted to jump on today because today is a big day for us. It's the first results day of our award-winning program. And with Results Day comes a lot of excitement, a lot of energy, but we know from experience that there's someone that isn't feeling as excited. There's someone that's feeling that their goals of 2022 have already, fallen apart, and they just need to hear what we have to share, I feel.
And the thing is, if you're anything like us, definitely having a routine, getting back into normality, especially after Christmas when we kind of overeat and we overindulge. We eat probably more than we normally do, and we can feel really, really sluggish. Sometimes we stay up later watching more TV, Netflix, and we're so glad to have the shred have started because it allowed us to get back into routine again, start getting those healthy eating habits that we had kind of slipped up on over Christmas time.
So if you don't know us, if you're new to our page, then my name is Mary. This is my husband, Seamus. We are a duo. You very rarely see one without the other, and we are actually two introverts.
She's my Batman, or she's my Robin, and I'm her Batman.
I'll be the Batman. No problem at all. You said it now publicly, so I'm Batman. You're Robin. He's mortified that he said that. But we work together, we train together, we eat together, we spend 24/7 together, and it is a choice that we made a number of years ago. This was not the path that we thought was for us. I used to be a secondary school teacher. Seamus was a carpenter, but our paths changed direction, and we are forever grateful and are extremely passionate about all things health, fitness, mindset, and helping you achieve your goals. So that is what you're going to get from us this year is tips on, if you're an introvert, how to come out of your shell, how to, I suppose, use your skills to achieve your goals. Mindset is huge, and we believe it is an area that's not really understood, and it has transformed so many areas of our life, and obviously health. What good is anything to you if you don't have your health?
And as Mary says, we're two normal people, but we've spent a lot of money working on ourselves. We have paid so much money. I
wouldn't even like to say
so much money, like doing personal development courses, coaches. And what we want to do is we want to try and digest a lot of that stuff that we have learned and put it into words and things that everybody can learn, because sometimes when we're reading stuff and the people are using all these big words, we're like, oh my God, that's way over our head. So we want stuff that we can understand so we can share, because if it's simple, we can understand it. And they always say you don't understand something until you can actually teach it. Yes. And that's why we want to be able to share all the things that we've been learning.
So people often say to me, do I miss teaching? And my reply is very, very, very simple. Absolutely not, because I teach every day now, but I teach people how to make simple changes to live their happiest, healthiest life. I teach people different strategies and I suppose skills on how to create an extra income, how to change their financial situation that they're in. And I teach people how to have a positive mindset so that they can accomplish whatever it is that they desire, be it better relationships at home, be it that job opportunity that they want, be it, anything and everything. So no, I don't miss teaching because I do it now more than ever. But today we want to talk to you about progress over perfection. And this is something that we are extremely passionate about because Seamus is a perfectionist with certain things, and for a long time that can actually hold you back. Would you agree?
Yeah, so a lot of the times I'm kind of like, sometimes I'm going to try something new, I'll do all the research. And so much research on, I'll get all the books and I'll buy all the books. Like when I was going to buy one of those digital cameras, a DSLR, I bought all the magazines, I bought all the books, and I wanted to find out exactly what it was the best camera before I would actually go and do it. And sometimes do the same when I'm going to get into a fitness regime or something like that. I'm going to read all the stuff, read all the articles. But what can happen is, in all of that time that I'm doing my research, if you just start,
you're going to get better.
You're going to get better, because what was the example you gave? Remember the test that they give to the children for taking the photos?
Oh yeah, that's a really good example. So there was an assignment given in a school where 100 kids were divided into 2 categories, and 50 kids had to take, the first assignment for them was that you needed to take 1 photograph a day for 20 days. Just 1 photograph a day, but you needed to try to get it as good as possible because you're only able to submit 1 photo each day for 20 days. And the other group of 50 kids were told to take as many photos as they possibly could, and then they submitted their best 20. The results were outstanding from the point of view that the kids who were allowed to take as many photographs as they possibly could, the quality of their work was much more superior to the kids that only took 1 photograph a day, because they weren't afraid to make mistakes. They realized that if they kept taking photographs, they could learn.
And you get better.
And you get better. That is how you get better at anything. It's through action. Action is the way that you'll actually learn what mistakes you're making. It was like me whenever I was training to become a teacher. Nothing could prepare you for teaching, no matter how many books you read. When you're placed in that classroom and you've got 30 kids in front of you, that is the greatest learning environment that you'll ever be part of.
Because you don't know, because you can read all the books
all day, every day.
All day, until you're actually put into that environment. You don't know what it's going to be like. So it's like for Mary, she can read all the textbooks she wanted, but until she stepped into that classroom and actually know what's it like to deal with a classroom full of children, nobody can prepare you for that until you actually get in and take action.
So we are on the 13th of January, and we're 2 weeks almost into the new year. Most people will have set New Year's goals or New Year's resolutions at this stage. Some of you will be still on track, but the majority of people will have given up on themselves already. And the reason for that is because of the habits that you've created up until this point. And when you come to understand goal creation, you will realize that the reason that you set a goal is actually not for what you achieve, but it's who you become in the journey.
When we think back on a lot of the things that we have achieved over the number of years, yeah, the success is incredible, but it's actually the people that we have become because of the goals that we wanted to achieve. We knew that if we wanted to achieve these goals, we had to actually change ourselves, and that is worth more than any money you will ever make.
So today we want to share with you our 3 top tips on how to help you strive for progress over perfection, to enjoy the journey this year, whatever the goal is that you have set, to enjoy it, not to keep, beating yourself up about it, talking negatively to yourself, because that is the biggest mistake that you can make. And if you want 2022 to be different to 2021 and 2020, then you need to start doing things slightly differently. So the first, I suppose, tip that we have is to strive for progress over perfection. And what I mean by that is, if you've set yourself a health goal, for instance, and I really hope that each one of you do set yourselves a health goal in 2022. Because when you start feeling your best, when you start to actually wake up energized in the morning, when you start to love what you're seeing back in the mirror, everything around you becomes better. So if you have set yourself a health goal for 2022, and maybe already you've kind of slipped up. So maybe you have said that you're not going to have any alcohol for the month of January. You're going to do a dry January, and you may have already had a glass of wine. So you feel that there's no point continuing on because you've already broken your goal. And that is the wrong attitude to have. What I would encourage you to do is to find the positive in that situation. So instead of, maybe you didn't have any crisps and takeaway with the wine, you just had the glass of wine, that's the positive. So yes, you did have some wine, but you didn't add in the extra crisps and chocolate and things like that, which are going to have another negative effect on your body, on the health goals that you have. So it's about looking for the positive in all situations and not deciding because you make one mistake that you've lost everything. I used to be that person that I would decide on a Monday, okay, I'm going to be so good this week. I'm going to, eat really well. I'm going to exercise. And maybe by lunchtime, I would have a slice of toast. And in my mind, this was the habit and the programming that I had, that if I had that slice of toast, well, today is a waste anyway, so I may continue to eat rubbish and I'll start again tomorrow. But by realizing that we can't change our habits, we can't forget about them. We need to replace them with a positive one. That's when you start seeing results. That's when things start moving in the right direction. So it's all about progress, not perfection in 2022 for us.
And the thing is, we always love that saying, it's like, be that 1% better every single day, because I always used to fall into the habits of it. Maybe when I would take time off over Christmas when I was playing football and I was exercising, and I'd go back into the gym again, and I would go hard at it again for like that first week, and I'd be really, really sore, and I wouldn't really be able to move for the next week, so I wouldn't be able to go to the gym and exercise for the following week. And then what can happen is that sort of motivation that you have can start to die because you've took a week out of going to the gym because your muscles are that sore. But you're far better off just going for be that little bit better every single day. So go in, do a little bit, the next day go in and do another little bit, go in the next day and do another little bit. And then you think on a year, that's over 360% better that you can be in almost a year time, which is absolutely incredible, rather than trying to be 100% better in the first week and then giving up because you feel too sore or you don't feel like you're good enough.
Absolutely. So tip number 1 is in 2022, we encourage you to strive for progress over perfection. Don't beat yourself up about slipping off track. Don't beat yourself up about, maybe having a drink on a Thursday night if you said you're only going to have a drink on a Friday night. Try next week to be a little bit stronger. Tip number 2, focus on what you can control. And what I mean by that is, say, for example, today you've decided that you're not going to eat out when you're working. You're going to bring your lunch with you because if you eat out, the choices that you make aren't good. They're not serving you well. They're not in alignment with the goals that you have. But this morning you sleep in, you're running a little bit late, which means you forget your lunch. So focus on what you can control. You can't control the fact that you're now in work and you've no lunch, but what you can control is what you consume. So instead of going out and having a chipper for lunch or a KFC or a McDonald's, make a healthier choice. Why not go and get a salad made up? Why not go and have this time of year, a nice bowl of homemade soup? Focus on what you can control. Don't just throw everything away because of one little blip, because there's always a solution to every problem. Remember that. No matter what your problem is, there is always a solution, but you've got to be focused on finding the solution, not going down the problem route. Well, I have no lunch, so my goals are out the window, so that means that I need to go and I need to eat X, Y, and Z. Or maybe you decide that, okay, I'm going to drink lots of water in work today because I don't normally drink lots of water, so I forgot my lunch and I'm going to go and I'm going to have to eat out, so I'm going to up my water intake. Little simple changes create huge results over this year. So number 3, anything you want to say about that?
No.
And number 3 is find your why. If you've set yourself a health goal, for instance, for 2022, why have you set that goal? What is motivating you? What is encouraging you to keep going? Why did you decide that this is my enough is enough moment?
And a really good point is like to have an image in your mind of what you want to try and achieve. So if it's like an ideal body shape that you want to get into, or an ideal weight that you want to get into, find an image of somebody on like Google or Instagram or whatever you want, and have it the image, because we always think in images. Like when we think on, if I say that you think on a car, you're going to think on a picture of how the car actually look. You're not going to think on the word CAR. So it's the same thing. People are like, oh, I need to lose 10 pounds or need to lose 5 pounds. How does that actually look to you? So when you're closing your eyes, or when you're going for something to eat and maybe there's something more tempting there, when you close your eyes and think, is this going to serve me better? Is this going to help me get me closer to my goal? Or is it going to take me further away? And it's really important to actually have that image to actually work on in your mind.
Because for me, what I really believe is healthy living should be a lifestyle that you look forward to each and every day. I used to be that person that would look at other people with envy and think, I wish I was more like you. We all know someone who has an amazing figure and they seem to be able to eat whatever they want. I wasn't that person. If I eat anything, it's like everybody. If I eat too much of the food that doesn't serve me well, it shows in my body. But I used to be jealous of people who seemed to be able to eat what I couldn't eat and never seemed to put on any weight. But what I've realized over the course of the last few years, being on my journey of health, is that I am addicted to how I feel. And when you become addicted to how you feel, you will start looking better.
And the thing is, I was that person growing up. I could eat whatever I wanted and I did not put on any weight. But I felt so sluggish. I might have not put on any weight and I might have looked good, But on the inside, I was exhausted. I was tired. I was the type of person who was hitting snooze button after snooze button because I just didn't have the energy. And as Mary says, sometimes you might look good, but are you actually functioning at 100%? Yes. Are you able to live a full life? Because sometimes what can happen is you're exhausted. You might look good, but you're absolutely exhausted.
And the thing about it is too, is that whenever you fuel your body and whenever you start to understand, oh my goodness, I'm waking up and I'm feeling so much better. Perfect example. Last week for us, and we weren't terrible over Christmas. It wasn't like we drank alcohol every night. We ate all of the rubbish. We definitely enjoyed ourselves, but we weren't as bad as would have been in previous years. But last week, when the alarm went off, we were sluggish, we were bloated, our mind was a bit foggy in comparison to this week. Like on Monday morning, the first thing Seamus said when we got out of bed was, oh my God, I miss this feeling, because feeling good becomes addictive. But what happens is if you never give yourself a chance to get to there, you don't know what you're missing. Definitely. So you get used to thinking that this is normal. It's not normal to be sluggish all the time. It's not normal to lack energy, to lack motivation. A lot of that has to do with what you're fueling your body. And if you don't nourish your body, if you don't fuel it, how do you expect it to work well?
It's like you always thinking if you had like a racehorse and you were to keep it up late all night and you fed it junk food and give it alcohol and cigarettes, do you think it would perform better? But we do that with our bodies every single day. And then we wonder, why are we not actually performing at a better rate? Why are we not got the energy? Why are we exhausted? Because a lot of it comes down to what are we fueling our body with every single day?
And no matter how appealing fast food may be to you for dinner, it won't, I suppose, appeal to you the next day when you've not got that clarity of thought, when you're not like super motivated, when you're not able to put on your clothes and you're like, yeah, I feel so good in this. We eat fast food. This is about the 80-20. When you are living a lifestyle, a healthy living lifestyle, it's not about being perfect. It's not about living on chicken and vegetables every single day. That's all we eat. Without a doubt, that is not what we eat. But we have come to realize that it's about choices. And we choose healthier foods more times than we choose the fast foods. We still choose the fast foods, but not every single day.
And sometimes we can have that the wrong way around, like especially at Christmas time. Yeah. A lot of the food we were eating and drink we were consuming was more like the 80-20 rule. So we're 80% of the food and alcohol was not the good one, and then 20% was the good. But we've flipped that around now since we've come back after Christmas, and you do start to feel so much better when you're putting 80% of the things into your body that you know is going to fuel you, knows is going to make you feel good, and you still have that 20% where you can have the takeaway at the weekend, you can have the odd a bit of alcohol at the weekend and the sweets and stuff like that, but you don't overdo it. You don't make sure that it's not the other way around.
So that's why we love the Shredded program, is because for 10 days of the month, it gives you a focus. It sets you a challenge, and it's short enough for you to see results. The results that have come in today are phenomenal.
And it's not about starving yourself.
No.
Like you have to eat 5 meals per day. Most people struggle to try and eat the 5 meals per day. But when you're eating whole foods, when you're cooking food from scratch, when you're not eating processed foods high in sugar, salt, calories, but you're having real whole food every single day, your body starts to feel really, really good.
But it's short enough for you to see it through, but long enough for you to see results. And for the other 20 days, you start building on the habits that you've learned and you've become accustomed to from our Shredded program. A perfect example, I was speaking to one of our fabulous ladies today, and she was saying her dad has lost 12 pounds in the last 10 days.
Incredible.
And phenomenal. And she said he needs to lose it for his health. But this morning, so today is results day, so his treat this morning was his Weetabix. And normally he would have 2 tablespoons of sugar with his Weetabix. Today, all he had was half a teaspoon. And he said that he could have actually gone without that.
And that's what happens. That's being that 1% yes. better.
So it's not about you completely reprogramming your brain overnight. That doesn't happen. And that is setting yourself up to fail. That is when you will constantly talk negatively to yourself. You'll tell yourself you're not good enough. You'll tell yourself that you're useless. And that self-sabotage is so harming. And especially if you've kids, you want to be a role model. You want to create a lifestyle that your whole family can come on. And it's about making simple changes. It's about what can you do today that's going to move you in the direction of your goals and build on that. And that's what we're about. So we're so passionate about. We know that life is for enjoying and we want you to enjoy it to its fullest, but we also understand that for you to fulfill your purpose in life, your health has to be a priority. It has to be a priority. So if you're in business for yourself and you want to make 2022 the best year of your life, then I'd love to have a chat with you and share the supplements that started our journey and are literally like.
And I always think if you're in
game
business,
changer.
sometimes you always think I can't do any more. But could you imagine if you were able to get an extra 2 or 3 hours per day because you had the energy to get up earlier, to stay up a little bit later. And as Mary says, you had the energy to be a lot more productive throughout the day because you don't have those midday slumps where you're tired and you feel like, you know what, I've got to rest. Imagine what your business would be like if you had an extra 2 or 3 hours per day for the next year. You would probably outwork most of your competitors.
And when it comes to supplementation, I was dead against supplementation. I was one of these people who believed I should get it from the food that I was eating. But the reality was I wasn't eating enough of the good food on a day-to-day basis. And that was just ignorance on my behalf. When I became open-minded and I looked into the products for myself, I didn't take someone else's opinion on board. I decided, well, these products make sense to me. It's fruits and vegetables. I know that fruits and vegetables are really good for me. I also know, if I'm being really honest, that with the best of intentions, I'm not going to get enough into me on a day-to-day basis. Let's try this and see what benefits I'm going to find. It has been it has opened up our world to health. Like, it has made us so aware. For instance, we're back juicing. We didn't juice today, but because the idea of celery juice this morning, today was only day 4. And we're more motivated than most. But this morning I was like, I'm hungry, Seamus. Can't drink that celery juice. Need to eat something this morning. So
I don't like celery juice. I do not like it. I've tried everything with it. I just don't like it.
But I know it's good for me.
Yeah,
like I know it's good for me.
It does feel good, but oh God, it's hard to drink.
But that's the thing. This was day 4 and already we didn't have any today. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to try and have it tomorrow. So it's about progress. But what you want to do, in my opinion, what has worked really well for us is finding something that makes making these changes simple. For me, our supplements do that.
And the thing is, we all know, like everybody knows that we've got to eat more fruits and vegetables. We know that. It's everywhere. It's in the newspaper, especially now in the new year. Everybody's talking about eating healthier. So everybody knows we've got to eat super healthy or eat more fruits and vegetables. But the reality is we don't. We might do it for a couple of weeks when we're feeling motivated, and especially in the January, we're saying, you know what, we're going to become healthier. But that normally doesn't last very long. So we wanted to find something that's super convenient, but it has all the goodness of the things that we should be eating. But we can't do it on a continual basis.
Do you know the best part about it is? This is what sold it to me. You get it free for a child. So because I was willing to go on my own health journey, the company gave me free gummies for Jamie. So that really, in my opinion, was like, oh my God, like I'm getting this free. Like that's a no-brainer. But also that the product was safe enough for me to take and to give it to my son. Like that.
And especially if you've got kids or picky eaters.
Yes.
Sometimes you're putting down broccoli and stuff like that and they feel like they're nearly going to get sick and you're saying, eat a wee bit. But when you know they're getting all the goodness from their fruits and vegetables in a convenient capsule or a chewable gummy, you know the rest of the stuff they eat, that's a plus. Yeah. So when they do eat, what we've found...
Let's be realistic.
They're not going to eat it all the time, but what we've found is over the years, Jamie and Abby have definitely got so much better. Abby definitely, she loves her fruits and vegetables. Jamie does try a lot more, but we know that he's getting the goodness on a daily basis, so we don't worry that much about him.
And I'm not here to sell to you, to tell you that you need to do this and you need to do that. I'm just sharing with you what's worked for us.
And find something that's easy, that you know that you can do on a long term, not something you're just going to do for the first couple of weeks of January and then you think, you know, it takes too much effort. I can't keep doing that.
But also find someone who has the results or is working towards the results that you want. That's very important as well. Because at the end of the day, results speak 1,000 words. So we could tell you all day about how incredible, we find these products, but I feel that you can see by looking at us that we are healthy, and we're healthy from the inside out, from the simple changes that we make. So we hope these 3 points have helped you for 2022 to kickstart your year, not give up on your goals, strive for progress over perfection. And if you do want to join us for our bonus shred, which kicks off on the 24th of January, get just in time for Valentine's Day, then do drop us a message. We'd love to get you started and come on this journey with us. So have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.
See you later, guys. Thanks for watching.